Well, today is the day to thank your doctor. It is National Doctors Day, one that we used to honor and celebrate a physician's dedication, service, and contributions to society. And here in Northeast Ohio, there are more than 7,000 doctors in practice, but they're facing far more today than ever before. Senior health correspondent Monica Robbins has one who can explain why. We're listening, Monica.
This is something we all need to listen to, because while today is certainly the day to thank your doctor, and I'm certainly grateful to all of mine, I think it's a day to understand what many are going through. And Dr. Eric Shapiro is president of the Academy of Medicine of Cleveland and Northern Ohio, representing more than 7,400 physicians and medical students. And it's also one of the largest regional medical associations in the country. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you very much for having me here and giving me an opportunity to tell you a little bit about what doctors want and what we go through and how we see things.
Well, I don't think a lot of people, one of the biggest questions I get is, I can't get an appointment with my doctor. And I think a lot of people don't realize that we're having a shortage. By 2036, we're looking at a shortage of 86,000 doctors. Right. And right here in Ohio, we're short 1,200 primary care physicians. So this massive shortage, what does this mean for those of us here in Northeast Ohio?
Well, it's a problem that doctors are very upset about, as well as patients. None of us ever want to say no to anybody. People go into medicine because they want to take care of patients, and doctors are trying as hard as they can to provide that care. But as you say, there aren't enough of us, and the pipeline is long and slow. It takes 10 to 13 years for somebody to go through the whole process of medical training. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, and the federal government has recently put caps on student loans that are going to make it impossible for some people to actually achieve that. And historically, we've also imported a lot of doctors. A large percentage of American doctors, about a quarter, are foreign-born, and that spigot has been turned down. So fundamentally, the difficulty seeing a doctor is one of not having enough doctors.
So you're talking about pricing them out from medical school because of the caps, and we're talking about, because of the current immigration status, not getting doctors from over the country, from out of the country rather. But what about the insurance issue? Because I know the average doctor spends about 13 hours a week dealing with insurance companies and not dealing with patients.
And I can tell you on a personal note, it's the thing that doctors complain about the most. Nobody went to medical school to sit on the phone talking to insurance companies. We like talking to patients. We want to help people. We want to spend our time in the exam rooms talking to patients. But the insurance companies have a business model that often involves throwing up a lot of obstacles so that they can hold on to the premium money for as long as possible. And we're kind of confronted with a system where we have no alternative but to try to work in the interest of our patients and ourselves to get that money paid. And it takes time that we could otherwise be seeing some of those people who are unhappy that they can't see a doctor yet.
Well, the other thing I know you're dealing with insurance companies is artificial intelligence. How is that impacting what you do?
Well, some of the insurance companies have been using large language models or artificial intelligence systems to essentially block more claims, to demand more prior authorizations, to ask for more documentation about procedures that are ordered. And it's enabled them to just throw up an even greater obstacle to people getting care and to doctors being able to spend their time with patients. It's just raising that wall that is slowing down the progress of people getting their medical care.
Do you know it's happening? Do you know you're dealing with AI or a human?
You don't, and you don't. And there is currently a bill that the state legislature is looking at to try to require insurance companies to actually notify a patient if their claim has been denied or sent for requiring prior authorization because of an AI system. But right now you don't. That's a completely opaque system.
AI is our future. You're using it in your practice to help with patients. How is that changing? Is it helping with burnout at all?
AI is one of the classic double-edged swords of technology. I love the many things that we can use it for. We can use it as a way to rapidly look through the research on rapidly evolving areas. We can use it to look for new treatments in the world of medical science. It promises revolutionary improvements in developing new medications and new treatments. But it is, as we all know, also subject to error. AI systems sometimes hallucinate, as we call it. And so it has to be a teammate that people know how to work with, that they can evaluate critically, and that they can use so that it is not an out-of-control vehicle, but it's actually getting us where we want to go faster.
You mentioned the bill. You're working with the Ohio State Medical Board on that. Specifically, what will it do?
Well, there are a couple bills in front of the legislature currently that relate to this prior authorization question. One, as I say, is the requirement to notify people when that has been the mechanism for denying their claim. And the other is just to limit the relatively reflexive use that in a lot of procedures is used by insurance companies to require prior authorization, which it just slows you down. You need to have you have people in your office who do nothing but spend all day on the phone with insurance companies, frequently on hold, as all of our patients know. And then they have to set up calls frequently for us to talk to reviewers or quote unquote peers. And that too, it all just kind of eats out that time. And the legislature is trying to look for some mechanisms for reining that process in.
It's National Doctors Day. What do you want patients to understand about what physicians are up against, and what, as we as patients, can do to make our lives easier and your lives easier?
I think that one thing that is maybe particularly important, because of some of the conflicts that have arisen politically over the last few years, is to understand that we're on the same page. Doctors want to help people. We went into medicine because we like walking into the room and saying hello to our patients and asking them what's wrong. We want to help them get better, and we love doing that. And that's what our patients want us to do. And what we both want to do is try to cut away some of these extraneous barriers that prevent us from delivering the kind of care that we want to. We want to have time to talk to people about their diet, about their exercise habits, about their sleep. But if we're being drained by the demand to do other kinds of work, it just takes away from what we all really value in the relationship and in what makes the work rewarding to us.
So we can all make lives a little easier if we plan ahead?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if to lead life well, you have to live in the moment, but also be looking down the road a little bit. And in terms of healthcare, that means looking at the consequences of your actions and working with your doctor to make sure that you're on the right path.
Well, thank you for being here, and happy Doctors Day to all of our doctors here in Northeast Ohio. Danita, back to you.